Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about property investments. I'm part of E&O Property Investments, which is a joint venture with Josh Ellicott, my cousin. We provide educational courses such as the property value investing course, as well as mentor and source for lender houses for clients in the UK. That's right, we're able to find properties that majority of the locals love and live in. Just like in Singapore, the lender houses worldwide have the most resilient prices as supply is constricted. They will also leave a legacy for future generations as you're able to improve upon the properties, extend and rebuild them without the usual restrictions as in your owner of part of a block of flats. Besides YouTube, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Please help us to like and subscribe if you like our content and find it useful. It helps us to produce more of such contents in future. I'm currently a fund manager aiming for quality companies. The companies typically selling products and services we love and have wide moats. For example, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, ROIC is above 15%. That's return on invested capital. I also own non-US companies like Evolution AB, which is an online casino operator for major players, Dino Polska, a Polish grocery chain. They all exhibit high-quality businesses that can compound their returns consistently. Returns-wise, I'm up 9% year-to-date, up 21% in 2023. There are many investment content providers out there. How do you know which one to listen to? My advice is to listen to those who are able to show the entire portfolio or track record. I've already shown you my equity portfolio's track record. Now let me show you my property record. My biggest wins in property came in my mid to late 30s in Singapore. I made close to $1 million in 3 years. It changed the way I thought about my job. Made me dream big that I can invest and be free. Well, on the left-hand side, I put in $388,000 in 2006 and sold it for $1.1 million in 2009. Now, because I took a mortgage, the down payment was only $78,000. The compounded annual growth rate or internal return per year, which accounts for capital gains and rental income, is 115% per year. It was bought in the east coast of Singapore. I follow up by buying another property for $970,000 in 2010. Valuation today is $2.5 million. Down payment I put in was $100,000. It was 22% CAGR excluding rental, and it's in the center of Singapore. I've also had my successes in Australia. This is a townhouse bought from a developer in Brisbane. I paid a premium because it's a new build. I bought it for 398,000 Aussie dollars back in 2014. I sold it in 2021 for 620,000. Down payment was only 80,000. Altogether 21% CAGR. Bought it in Brisbane, Australia. I also made a foray into the UK starting 2012 after the Singapore government shut the door on multiple home ownerships. This, for example, on the right-hand side is a lovely apartment overlooking the River Thames. I bought it for £272,000. It was a one-bedder, valued at £454,000 today. I have only about 20,000 British pounds left in the project because I refinanced and took out money. All in total return, CAGR is 23% and is in Tower Hamlets, London. In 2015, London became too expensive and the yields too low. I decided to buy landed houses in secondary cities like Manchester and Birmingham. And that's where I get solid, consistent, year-by-year capital gains and good rental since then. On the left-hand side, I bought a corner terrace in Birmingham for 130,000 in 2017. It was valued at 216,000 in 2018. I refinanced almost all my money out and only left 15,000 British pounds in. Total return CAGR is over 31%. Bought in West Boulevard, Birmingham. After that, I ventured to Manchester, which I had equal success. I bought a corner terrace for £175,000. Today is valued close to £300,000. Now, in the last couple of years, I ventured into buying big houses of over 1,700 square feet, which can be carved into flats. We call it multi-unit block of flats. This was bought for 529,000 in 2023, now valued at 560,000 pounds. My down payment was only 133,000 pounds, 23% CAGR. So this one is in Reading, UK. Now for the main event, why real estate? I invest in both real estate and stocks. Stocks for liquidity, I get about 15 to 20% per year return. Properties, I get about 20 to up to 50% returns, on average about 30% because it's leverage. Well, property without leverage is only about 9 to 11% annual returns. It's the same as S&P 500, but buying stocks is less of a hassle. There's a lot to deal with for property, tenants, legals, mortgage. If you don't have mortgage, then you still have to get a lawyer. So my advice is that if you're buying properties, especially overseas, you must be leveraged to make it worthwhile. It is also safer if a local bank is able to lend you money on an asset to vouch for the authenticity of the valuation. And the loan to value ratio should be over 60% to show that what you're buying is not overvalued. If no local lenders are willing to give you the money, or the LTV is very low, less than 60, it's probably not a good deal or way overvalued. So in this case, an 11% return with $100 today will turn into $284 10 years later. Well, what if you buy the S&P 500 ETF or the SPY? I assume 10% per year total return. $100 will turn into $259 10 years later. So that's quite close to property without leverage, right? In fact, I tell you that if you can stomach the volatility, then S&P 500 is a lot hands-free than real estate. Now, the game changer is when you take a mortgage. With leverage, you can achieve 20% per year at least, ignoring rental income. With rental income, you can achieve 30% per year. So with the rule of 72, you double your money every 2.4 years. How would you like to retire in 10 years earlier with 30% return, so they can work when you want, play when you want, spend time with your family and do what you want on your own? So in this case, even if you assume 11% return per year, total return, 70% loan to value ratio and 5% on mortgage, $100 will turn into 619. That's 6x your money. So property with leverage is usually superior to stocks without leverage. And of course, you can't margin on stocks because you get margin call. The banks have no qualm margin calling you. Whereas if you service your mortgage faithfully, you will usually be left alone. So in the next episode, I'll talk about strategies with properties that can help you reach financial freedom quicker. Please help us to like and subscribe to this channel. It will help us produce more great contents for you, and I'll see you real soon.